recording again. Alright, so we were up against red, white, or black, red, hollow, whatever, hollow end, hollow one, Goroya. Don't know if they had Goroya's Vengeance or not, actually, so I can't just presume that, but one thing at a time. So, New Blood Moon was a possibility, and it got us there in Game 3, although it's possible that, well, I guess we could have gotten, like, Valakut and a Mountain with the first thing and killed his board, so, unfortunate, but that's Modern. Guess I'd like to play first. Alright, so what does this hand do? We have one land, Farseek, and a bunch of stuff we can't cast, so that's a mulligan. Alright, well, this hand isn't great, but I still think it's fine. Keep a land on top, play a Cinderglade, pass. Alright, looks like we're up against good old Ad Nauseam. Alright, so that Mountain, a Farseek, get the other Cinderglade, and pass. 2, 3, 4. Okay, Serum Visions. So not a whole lot to this particular. So we can deal, okay, go get 4, top. Alright, so play out Arid Mesa, get a Mountain, exile Simian Spirit Guide, play Through the Breach, put in a Prime Time. Like to use this ability, yes. Go and get Valakut and Valakut. Attack with Primeval Titan. Yes. Go get 2 Stomping Grounds. Nope. And alright. Opponent bemoaning the fact that they had Pact and Angel's Grace, which I guess we'll have to believe them. Alright, so this is very much a race. So we want... The only thing that we can really do is attack their mana. Courser, kind of nonsense. Alright. So we want the Rec Sage probably... Would be nice if we had like Woodfall Primus for this matchup, but the build I have does not have that, so... Alright. Bolts don't make a lot of sense. Bolts, Relics, Ingers, Tireless Trackers, Coursers, Command Colossus. So we're trying to deny them mana, and we're also trying to disrupt them as much as possible. So what does this hand do? We could guarantee a green source. I think this hand would be fine, but we can't, so we have to mulligan. Yeah, we'll keep this hand. Ancient Grudge. So turn 1, Search for Tomorrow. Turn 2, I think we'll top that. Plays out Temple of Deceit. So we'll go Search for Tomorrow. Pass. Yep. Untap land would be nice here. Pass to our opponent. Hopefully that'll buy us enough time. Unlife, not surprising. Probably get a regular mountain here. Alright, so I think we need to go ahead and grab Cinderglade here. Not that damage makes a ton of difference. I guess we go after their black mana now. So we have Ad Nauseam and Angel's Grace, important to note. bring in anything weird. Ley lines. Act of negation, mystical teachings. So we need to keep them choked on mana as much as possible. Mika Koru. Alright, so Chrism. Sure. And pass. Alright, that was their draw for the turn. Like they hit another cantrip. Content Prism for 1. Okay. All this is doing is buying us a turn, so which probably isn't enough. Sure. Bottom and bottom. Alright, so we're in a lot of trouble. Alright, so 4 mountains. We have to play Hour of Promise here. Have the Pact of Negation, have the Pact of Negation. Okay, so Valakut. Play a mountain. Pass. And basically if they've drawn a land, we're pretty well dead here. Or I guess Simeon the Spirit Guide could do it too. Okay. Echoing Truth, Lotus Bloom. Just to get in mind what the sideboard plan was. Pact of Negation, Leyline, Grace, Nauseam. There's the Lightning Storm. They leave in their Phyrexian, Laboratory Maniac doesn't look like it. Alright. Go ahead and concede. Save some time. This is not a particularly fantastic matchup either. So, of course, Masters, Trackers, Angers, Bolts. Yeah, still think this is the best setup we have. So we're to play first. Ugh, this hand is awful. Alright, this hand's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Prime time? Yeah, I think we want prime time. Yep, here comes Leyline. Okay, no Leyline. Weird. So our opponent, scry to the bottom, scry to the bottom with this one, suspended a Lotus Bloom. Alright. So prime time we knew we were drawing and pass. Hopefully they'll play something like Pentad Prism or something here. Nope. The fact they're not playing cantrips is not great either. Means they quite likely have the combo, if not in hand, already. Alright, so got a forest here. Feels bad. And then of course we got a stomping ground. Sure. Nope. And pass. Must have been quite the hand. Hour of Promise. Sure. Does that mean we're just dead? Okay. Not scooping until you show him the combo. Actually, it's not Titan Shift, it's Breach Titan. And so far it's been running into two fantastic matchups. How you doing, Craig? I mean, our opponents indicated they have ad nauseum, so, I mean, more power to them. No, he's just a chatty, annoying ad nauseum player. I'm doing great, other than it seems whatever I play lately, I run into, like, impossible, if not downright bad matchups. I mean, I ran into, like, Hollow 1, Red Black, nonsense round 1. And now I ran into a nauseum round 2. Arrogant on my part or their part? Yeah, it is a little bit, but it is admittedly a bad matchup for any type of um, Primeval Titan deck other than maybe Amulet Titan has a better matchup because they might be like Amulet Titan might be a turn faster on some draws, and they're not as I know one or two players they're that cocky face to face, but in general, no, you're right. Computer keyboard warriors. I've never found Primeval Titan decks to do particularly well online. It's unfortunate because they're actually pretty simple and pretty fun to play. I mean, Amulet Titan isn't, but like Titan Shift and Breach Titan are both pretty fun. See, these are the hands that make me sit here and go, why Magic Online? This is like the third hand I've had to throw back because of no green source. Like, if this was, like, say, Stomping Ground Mountain, this hand's perfect. I mean, this hand's perfectly acceptable. I mean, obviously, it depends on what our opponent's on, but... 1, 2... So I guess I want that. I mean, if our opponent goes turn 1 Inquisition, we're kind of not happy we topped a mountain, but, you know. And what do you bet? I get Death Shadow right off the bat for match number 3. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I've seen... Okay. Well, on a positive note, it's not... Death Shadow. On a negative note, it is Burn. Yeah, I haven't ever really played it against it much with Ponza. I had one guy I played in the local IQ that I was playing Burn, and he was talking about Ponza versus thing. He said he'd never lost to a Ponza player, so. But yeah, especially if you can go like mountain, like kill all their basic forests. Oh my. I mean, our opponent kept a one-lander? No, you should definitely go after, especially if, well, oh, unfortunately they have a second land. Yeah, it's probably counterintuitive. So, I think here I'm supposed to play Farseek instead of thing. I don't want to give them target for their, do not want to give them a target for Searing Blaze until I absolutely have to. Yeah, it could. I could see it going both ways. I've both beaten and lost to Ponzo with Burn, so. Our opponent's definitely... Okay, so they're cracking, that's getting... This is Jundburn? Okay. I do feel like one of their cards in hand, the way they play that, is Searing Blaze, though. Sure. They have had a lot of 1-mana burn spells. Alright, so... 4, 5... Next turn, Primeval Titan 6. So I play Valakut. Yeah, I agree there. My question is without the creatures, though, is he going to have a fast enough draw? I think he will, because our Titan's not going to be hasty or anything, so... Depends on what is left in his hand. I think playing around Searing Blaze here might have been wise, being able to hold priority like that. So, the fact that they don't play anything on end step leads me to believe. Oh, Goblin God. Great. Yeah. Bump in the Night, Gonti's Machinations, and some other nonsense. So I'm gonna have to... So the most he can be holding in hand right now is 2, 3, 4, 5. Play out the Cinderglade. So if we don't die over the next turn cycle, then he's just dead. Don't like that Magic Online made that box so small. See, his hand just didn't line up. So we're going to get Valakut Mount and blow up his Goblin Guide. Just because I don't want to risk taking any more damage here. And then next turn we have lethal regardless, so... Alright. Valakut and Mountain. Do one there. One there. No, he can't, but the damage doesn't matter. So I'd rather not have him go, like, another Goblin Guide, like something like that. So I'm trying to minimize his outs, especially understanding that he doesn't have any 4 damage burn spells. So, like, okay, if he has Bolt, 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 or Bolt, Spike, Bolt, I'm dead here. But considering he'd already used Lightning Bolt, Lava Spike, number of outs he had was minimal. And this particular version of the deck I'm using has no life gain whatsoever. Huh. That's what happens when you copy and paste a list without thinking about it. Given that hand, I would think probably Searing Blaze, possibly a land, and some other random spell. The way he held that fetch land was really telegraphing. No, I think he had a 2-mana instant. I think it was Blaze. Because the way he played that, the fetch land and passed on turn 2, if I would have played Sakura Tribe Elder, with the way priority works, he would have had a chance to Searing Blaze the Tribe Elder before I would have gotten priority back. So, alright, so Bolts. What other card do I want? Maybe shave 1 Hour of Promise or a couple Anger of the Gods. Which aren't even good, but I think this sideboard is grossly underprepared for Burn. But then again, I don't think Burn's a good matchup even if you devote several sideboard slots to it, so can understand that particular concept. I mean, I can't do much better than this. I've got interaction, I've got turn 1 search for tomorrow. Well, potentially turn 1 search for tomorrow. Depends on if I have to interact with one of their idiots. Even if he cuts... Okay, even if he cuts the Blazes, Tracker still isn't good. So now I have to decide if I want to kill this Goblin Guide or if I want to prioritize searching for tomorrow. Alright, so I've got double prime time. Let us do some math. If I play search for tomorrow, next turn I only have 2 mana. I could only Sakura Tribe Elder or burn him. The following turn, I think it's better to just play Mountain and pass. Discarding, discard a Primeval Titan. Yeah, depends on... It depends on whether he has Eidolon on 2 here and he plays it pre-combat. See, now a good burn player would attack with Goblin Guide, then play Eidolon post-combat. But it looks like he's stuck on... Oh, why would you suspend Rift Bolt before combat? That makes very little sense. Through the Breach. Okay, now in some regards I am regretting pitching that second prime time. Maybe. Or just a bad one. Burnt, it took me probably a good... probably a good we gotta go and get a mountain here. Sacrifice at main phase. I'm still playing around Blaze. No, it's not. I'm still playing around Blaze here. And we could get punished if he draws like a Goblin Guide or something off the top, but I'd rather take 2 than... Agreed. And a lot more nuance to sideboarding than people want to think. See, the fact that he already fetched Shock means he's already in through the Breach range. So, turn 4, Breach... turn 4 kill might be enough. Basic mountain, huh? Should go hog wild on your life total. Don't really matter at this point. You're already below 18. Okay. What on earth? I'm guessing... Claim to fame? Okay. Well... That's moderately annoying. Okay, Valakut, sure. So... They're dead next turn, and the question is, do we live that long? So they shock themselves with nothing to do with the mana. What are they doing over there? So we have a turn 4 kill lined up here. Please be flashing back claim. I mean, there's a chance we're dead here if they have... Okay, that reduces the chance. I mean, if they would have gone shock... Why are you not flashing back claim to fame? I don't... Whatever. Okay, we draw another mountain. So we're going to 8. Bump in the night. And... 1 card in hand. It's a different style of burn. I've seen the list, I just honestly had forgotten about it because I haven't seen it played in a while, so honestly forgot about it. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5 Valakut. It's only a 2-mana flashback. Oh, Bump in the Night? Eh. Bump is only relevant if you go long. Like against some burn deck, like against some control decks and such. Alright, so we have 4 mountains, get 2 Valakuts here. Go to combat. Without white here, they're just like, there's nothing I care about. No Path to Exile, no Bump in the Night. Not Bump in the Night, no Path to Exile, no Deflecting Palm. Trigger. Yes. Good. Wait a second. Almost clicked on Arid Mesa. That would have been bad. Click off of Arid Mesa. Get Cinderglade and Cinderglade. Alright, this means you are dead, friend. Please concede instead of making me click through all this. And nope. Okay. Well, I agree they aren't great, but in this particular case, sure, I go to 1. Is this where you're just showing me what you had and... Okay. Yeah, I agree they aren't great, but a Path to Exile there would have bought them a turn, and a turn would have been all they needed to rip the final kill spell. So... Because, I mean, you path in response to my first search, then they're not taking any damage. Maybe... Okay, let's say I path in response to the first Titan trigger. I have 4 mountains in play. I have to go get, like, whatever. Alright, so this... The only risk with this hand is, like, missing on Fatty Boom Boom. So, question is... Go and get a Stomping Ground here. See what our opponent has here. Huh. Okay. Blooming Marsh Inquisition tends to tell me, yep, this should be a decent matchup. Not guaranteed, obviously, but should be a decent matchup. Okay, that's... Play out this. Alright, so they're going to 18. Or 19, sorry. Alright. Is this scavenging use or Grim Flare? Okay. This is definitely Obzoniston. I go and get here. Guess I get one of the Cinder Glades, get those out of the deck. Simeon Spirit Guide. Yeah, that's the card I want to see, right? Guess it is discard fodder to Liliana. Should they have that here? Sure. Now you get nothing? Excuse me. Yep, here comes Flare. See what they do with their trigger. So this is the kind of matchup that you probably want Tracker in post board. And then, guess we'll have 5, 6. So I can cast anything I draw, just hopefully it isn't through the breach. Okay, they get rid of a Siege Rhino? Okay. I think you would want Siege Rhino. Scavenging Ooze? Sure. I don't know. Unless they have a follow-up threat here, that feels kind of loose. You'd think you'd want Scavenging Ooze or Siege Rhino in this case. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'll just go get Mountain. Cinder Glade, I guess I get with this one. So the question is, what do I go get here? Because there's a decent chance they have Path. Yep, there's Path. Sure. Guess. So am I getting double Valaka here? I think so. And any mountain becomes 6 damage. And almost my entire deck is nothing but mana, so... And my opponent got their 4th card type. Okay. Guessing this is like Lingering Souls. All depends on what we draw here, how relevant any of this will be. Tarmogoyf, alright. So we're close to winning, yet not quite. If our opponent's got land, Siege Rhino, we're just dead. Okay. Just search for tomorrow, do here. So we can go and get a mountain, kill Tarmogoyf, and then just die. Alright, well that kind of sucked. So, probably want Tireless Trackers, probably want Relics, Bolts to a certain degree are nonsense. Shave like 1 Spirit Guide. Maybe shave A through the Breach, just because it's dead in multiples. Bolts, Grudges, Spirit Guide, Rex Sage, the Gods, Crumble the Dust, Colossus. Yeah, I think we'll go with this. So, I mean, we had a lot of draws there that were live. think another Primeval Titan was just our best draw overall there. Either Primeval Titan or Pact of Negation, Summoner's Pact. These Primeval Titan decks just have a lot of inherent flaws with them. So guess I'd like to play first. Seriously, deck? I don't know how many opening hands I've had to mulligan because I have Basic Mountain or Basic Mountain Valakut. This hand feels like garbage. Turn 1 Valakut, turn 2 that. More than likely. I'm doing another series for the YouTube channel. This is the first of like 4 Primeval Titan decks. Scape Shift's better, more resilient. I think Through the Breach is faster. This hand is just so awful. Guess I'm going to 5. Do I want a prime time here? Sure. Then I can fetch based on what my opponent does here. Go and get a Stomping Ground. Yeah, I agree it gets more interaction, but I don't know. None of the matchups we've had, interaction matters. Like, ad nauseum, our interaction's irrelevant. The graveyard decks, we already have 4 relic, or the Hollow 1, red black nonsense. We already have 4 relics. And then the burn deck. I mean, burn's just bad for any version of the deck. Okay. Yeah, Grimflare seems to be their threat of choice. Alright, well, that's not horrible, I guess. So we get to go play out Farseek, get a Cinderglade, play a Relic, be immediately. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this deck. I mean, I played it some before, like before I started streaming this summer, I played it some. And it went like 3-2, 2-3, 3-2, 2-3. Especially in the, I think in the friendlier leagues, you're playing a lot wider variety of decks. And I think there's a very specific, please have like freaking Inquisition here. Yep, Thoughtseize. Sure. The funny part is, if I would have boarded in Chameleon Colossus, I would be in a lot better shape here. No. Omen is more in the, Scapeship builds. This deck really doesn't have room for Omen because of the nature of the Through the Breach package. A lot of the flex slots that would go towards things like Omen and Scapeshift are taken up with things like the extra 2 Summoners packs and the Through the Breaches. You're trading. I suppose you could play Omen in place of this particular build had Hour of Promise. I suppose you could play it in like some of those slots, but you're already trading slots for speed. I think Omen would actually be. It wouldn't be bad, but I think you're doing a lot of the same of what Through the Breach is already trying to do. Just my unprofessional, untrained. What is this? Oh, scavenging use. Wonderful. Through the Breach. Well? The question is do I prop? I guess I pop Relic on their turn because it doesn't matter if I do it right now. Especially since they have an Inquisition here. Which is really freaking annoying. So I guess I have to cast Pack now. Which is unfortunate. Guess I'm getting prime time. Another Inquisitional miss. McCarver, do you have any experience with this archetype, or have you mainly played Titan Shift? Because this is actually Breach Titan, not Titan Shift. So I'm getting hit for at least 5 here. So if our opponent can add to their clock at all, we have a bit of a mess on our hands. And if they're sitting on path, we're really up a Shiitake Creek. They're fundamentally similar, but different from what I've seen. Breach Titan's more explosive. Titan Shift is more resilient. I'd say their speed difference is probably maybe half a turn. See, like, right here, you have to take a turn off to pay for Summoner's Pack. So, top. Apparently they're just keeping all 3 cards. It's a really big Tarmogoyf. So our opponent kept 3 cards on top of their deck. So whatever they kept obviously is good. Yeah, that would have been... Okay, a land. Still a very good chance where... If he has either a Thoughtseize or a... Thoughtseize or Path to Exile, we're pretty boned here. Siege Rhino, would that be enough? So he's leaving up Path, potentially. I mean, we have no play but this one, so... So... I think I'm still pretty dead here. No, because then we're dead to the Goyfs. See, that's what I mean. I think we're pretty dead here. Because if we shoot these, the Goyfs become 3/4s. Or a 5. If I shoot Skoos and Goyf, yeah, I'm dead to any... pretty much dead to any combination of nonsense here. Trying to think, is there any way out of this? Not to mention he has this Raging Ravine, or Stirring Wildwood hanging out too. So I could go shoot Goyf, shoot... And I can only kill one of the Goyfs, so... Guess it's... Kill the Use, kill the Goyf, hope they make a mistake. Pass. Alright. next round because our opponent figured out the attack all button. I was dead to anything, so it was pretty much hope and pray. So one more round. Not saying I'm too big of a fan of this build of the deck. I'm not sure Titan Shift would have fared a ton better in the matchups we played. Yeah, I know. That's the thing with Magic is sometimes you're just going to lose because you're not playing the right deck for the matchup, or you're not playing the right sideboard cards, and Modern just accentuates that even further. You know, like playing in the friendly league here, we've got, you know, we've played ad nauseum, Black Red, Hollow One, we've played Jund Burn, we've played Abzan. I mean, that's the thing with playing, especially the friendly leagues. Yeah, you don't lose as much money if you do poorly in the league, but you play a lot wider variety of decks. Whereas, you know, if you're playing in the competitive leagues, you're going to play a lot more Collected Company decks, a lot more Death Shadow, a lot more regular burn, a lot more, you know, top tier 2 or 3 tier decks as opposed to every random brew that has a chance to 5-0 a league. You can go from like a subset of maybe 10 to 15 decks you might play to like literally all 40 or 50 semi-viable modern decks. So, yeah, that's an internet speed issue. Good old DSL. I can't go any higher, so unfortunately, I do apologize for that. We so awesome, we're going to scare off the opponent. By the way, that's sarcasm if anybody can't tell. Guess we'd like to play first. So, hands like this is why I don't like... I mean, I like the explosiveness of the Through the Breach version, but it's like 5-drop, 6-drop, 5-drop, pseudo 4-drop, land, relic. We have a pseudo accelerator, but we gotta pay 6 mana for it, so it's like, that's a mulligan. Hour of Promise, Primeval Titan. Yeah, we're keeping this 5, but I'll look at it once we I'll look at it once we're either done sideboarding or once we're done with the match. I don't really want to interrupt playing the match. Seriously? How do you get rule sharked? Well, looks like we're up against another Abzan deck. Maybe they'll play an Inquisition here. That'd be nice. This could just be black-green rock. Unfortunately, they're getting a card either way, so. Would you like my Hour of Promise or my Hour of Promise? Guess they wanted my Hour of Promise. Ship. Oh, is that the one that bolted it with it on the stack? I think I caught that. It was just like, no, we gotta let this thing resolve. Liliana to boot? Probably. Courser. Yeah. We're definitely up against green-black. My only question is this green-black rock or is this green-black death cloud? Hmm. Hmm. So he had the Liliana and chose not to play it. Okay. I think we get rid of Breach here. Is it Breach? Yeah, it's gotta be Breach. Alright, so that's... Yeah, I'm just supposed to get 2 Valakutes here, right? We lose our forest, but it doesn't matter at this point. Oh, they got a Bob on top. Hey, Bobby! Bobby. Bobby, Bobby. Guess they didn't like Bobby. Traverse, that's a little bit of a scary card. Especially if they can turn it on here. Oh, they finally fixed Liliana, so you automatically lose the card. Alright, there's a Tarmogoyf. Man, even the green-black decks are kicking their hind ends. Maybe this deck just isn't good. Alright, where's my mouse? There's my mouse. I was gonna say, if the green-black decks are kicking your hind end, you know you got problems. So am I supposed to kill the Goyf or go upstairs with this? Put him to 12. A traverse turns us into... So he likely can't traverse and play this turn, so I think we go upstairs. Do that. Do that. And then, yes. No. Got rid of the traverse. That just mean you have another Goyf or something? Well, I think that qualifies as gas. Killing them seems pretty good, right? Of course, it'll make us click through like 100 things to get there, but... Do you wish to redirect? Do you wish to do this? Okay, opponent conceded rather than making us click through it all. Thank you, opponent. Alright, so we can expect fulminators. Bolts aren't great. Relics are decent. Probably want trackers, probably shave. Do it like this. Is there anything else that they could have that we will care about? Colossus doesn't really do a whole lot in this matchup. Rex Sage, I guess Sage could hit Courser, but I don't think we really care about Courser. Oh. Well, no, we want Courser because this can turn into a little bit of a grind fest. So thank you everyone for tuning in this evening. Was going to do some Ixalan drafting today, but I figured everybody that is streaming is doing Ixalan drafting, so decided to move on to plan B, which was playing a little bit of Modern. This is the start of trying to figure out which Primeval Titan deck is the best of the 3 or 4 that see play. Aiden's hand seems fine. Probably get something discarded out of it, so... Yep, especially basic Swamp. Duress. So I guess we lose our search for tomorrow? I take through the breach. Interesting. I guess this deck has more issues dealing with a Resolve Titan than Abzan would. Because Abzan has access to Path. And there's nothing in Green-Black's arsenal outside of... Yeah, that's greatly appreciated. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm going to draft, I'm going to play Standard, but I use a card borrowing service, Mana Traders, and they won't have any of the good standard stuff until at least this coming weekend. And I figure I'm going to draft a little bit once I know more about the format, but than the Legacy Storm guy. Thanks, I think. Let's go and play that. I mean, I try to, my goal is to try to be as learning as possible. So, surgical extraction through the breach. Really? See, I can respect bringing in surgical extraction in this matchup if you've got fulminators, but why are you surgical extracting through the breach? I honestly think you'd be better like tagging Sakura Tribe Elder. Alright, so I think I go and get. Do I play around Fulminator by going and getting. I think I need to get Mother Forest. Reason being, while Forest is a horrible card in any deck, if my opponent is on surgical extraction, it leads me to believe they have they likely have okay. Huh. So what do you have here, opponent? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's shock. No? Okay, then what was the point of fetching there? I have no reason to crack this relic. Gray Ogre. No, I'm... Gray Ogre, I'm hyped. Actually, Gray Ogre can cast Primeval Titan here. So I have 3 mountains. So what do I get here? I guess I get double Valakut? Question mark? That way he can't Fulminator me off of it. Gray Ogre hype. Hashtag Gray Ogre hype. That's probably the most broken Gray Ogre in Magic, we'll be honest there. Okay, Ghost Quarter, sure. Yeah. Yeah, I understand what you're saying there. The problem is though, is they could have... I mean, this is probably Liliana. Seriously? Wow. Okay. Did anybody see the Acid Moss coming? Anybody? uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did anybody see the acid moss coming? Oh. Opponent scooped it up. Oh, wow. Oh, that was too much. What, Mavani Acid Moss? Mavani Acid Moss is a card that usually only sees play in Ponza. DSL ruining my fun quality of stream. Yeah, that too. Mavani Acid Moss is a 4-mana spell, 2 and 2 green, destroy target land, go find a forest out of your deck, put it into play tapped. So normally, I've only ever seen it out of Ponza. I have never seen it out of any type of rock deck. Ever. So... Oh... I'm glad you have a sense of humor about it, McCarver. But it is... Yeah, it was not a card I saw coming. But then again, he knew we had Titan 3 in hand with the pack. We didn't have either one in hand at the time, because we cracked the Relic at end of turn and then drew Summoner's Pact, so we got a little lucky. But after the rest of that league, I'm not going to complain about a little bit of luck at the end there. So...